There is one animal on Earth that simply refuses to die. Everything alive shares the same fate: to be born, to grow, to fade, and finally to die. It is the oldest rule in biology, and almost nothing seems able to break it. And yet, drifting somewhere in the world's oceans right now, there is a creature that appears to have found a loophole. It is smaller than your fingernail, nearly transparent, and easy to overlook. But when this tiny jellyfish grows old, or is injured, or simply runs out of luck, it does something no other complex animal can do. Instead of dying, it begins to grow younger. It rewinds its own body, all the way back to the very start of its life, and begins again. Scientists call it the immortal jellyfish, and it may be the closest thing to eternal life that nature has ever produced. To understand why that is so astonishing, we first have to understand how a jellyfish is supposed to live. The immortal jellyfish has a proper name, Turritopsis dohrnii, and it belongs to an ancient group of animals called Hydrozoa. Fully grown, it measures only about 4.5 millimeters across, roughly the size of a lentil. Its bell is clear as glass, and through it you can see a bright red stomach glowing at the center. Around the rim trail dozens of fine, hair-thin tentacles, ready to catch tiny drifting prey. Like most jellyfish, its life does not begin as a jellyfish at all, but as a fertilized egg floating in open water. That egg becomes a tiny swimming larva, which sinks down and glues itself to a rock, a shell, or the sea floor. There it changes into something that looks nothing like a jellyfish. A polyp. A polyp is a small stalk rooted in place that slowly branches into a delicate colony like a fuzzy underwater plant. When conditions are right, this colony buds off tiny young jellyfish, which swim away to begin their own life. The jellyfish grows up, reproduces, and then, like every other jellyfish on Earth, it is meant to wither and die. That is the script every animal follows. You move through life in one direction only, always toward the end. Turritopsis dohrnii quietly tore that script in half. In the late 1980s, a young marine biology student was keeping some of these jellyfish in a tank beside the Mediterranean Sea. He left them unattended, and the water turned harsh, too warm, and short of food. By every expectation, the jellyfish should have sickened and died. Instead, something that should have been impossible happened. The adult jellyfish did not rot away. They shrank. Their tentacles pulled inward, their bells collapsed, and they sank to the bottom of the tank. There they settled and transformed, not into corpses, but back into polyps. The animals had reversed their own development, traveling backward down their life cycle to an earlier, younger form. From those new polyps, a fresh generation of young jellyfish soon budded off, genetically identical to the adults that had seemingly died. Imagine a person in old age slowly turning back into an infant, not a child of their own, but the very same individual, reset to the very beginning. That, in essence, is what this jellyfish does. The secret lies in a rare biological trick called transdifferentiation. Normally, once a cell in an animal's body becomes a specific type, a muscle cell, a nerve cell, a skin cell, it stays that way for the rest of its life. But in Turritopsis dohrnii, cells are able to change their identity. A muscle cell can become a nerve cell can become something else entirely. When the jellyfish reverts, its specialized adult cells effectively forget what they were and are reassigned to build a brand new polyp. The body is not simply repaired, it is taken apart and rebuilt from the same living material into a younger form. And crucially, the animal can do this again and again. In the laboratory, individual jellyfish have been pushed through this cycle over and over, growing young each time. One Japanese researcher, famous for his devotion to these creatures, watched the same colony rewind its life more than 10 times. In principle, there is no built-in limit, no biological clock ticking down to a final, unavoidable death. So is this little jellyfish truly immortal? Not quite, and the difference matters. Biologists call it biologically immortal, meaning it does not have to die of old age. It is not doomed by the slow decline that eventually claims almost every other animal. But it can still die in countless ordinary ways. It can be swallowed by a fish, struck down by disease, or killed by a sudden change in its surroundings. In the vast, hungry ocean, most immortal jellyfish are eaten long before they ever grow old. Their gift is not invulnerability. It is the power to escape death by aging if nothing else takes them first. And that single gift has helped them quietly conquer the planet. Turritopsis dohrnii began in the Mediterranean, but it has since spread to oceans all around the world. It hitches rides in the ballast water that huge cargo ships pump in and out of their hulls. Carried from port to port, this fingernail-sized survivor has spread across the globe in what one scientist called a silent invasion. Naturally, a creature that can reverse its own aging has caught the attention of scientists who study why the rest of us grow old. In 2022, researchers sequenced the jellyfish's entire genetic code. They compared it with a close cousin that cannot perform the same trick. In the immortal jellyfish, they found an unusual set of genes tied to repairing damaged DNA and protecting cells as they divide. It appears to be remarkably good at the very upkeep that our own bodies slowly fail at over a lifetime. No one is promising this will ever make humans immortal. Our bodies are vastly larger and more complex than a speck of drifting jelly. But every organism that defies the rules of aging is a clue worth studying. By learning how this animal keeps its cells young, researchers hope to understand more about our own decline and perhaps how to soften the diseases that come with age. It is a strange and humbling thought. One of the deepest mysteries we chase, how to hold back time itself, may be drifting unnoticed in a single drop of seawater. A creature almost too small to see, quietly doing the one thing the rest of the living world cannot, refusing to stay old. So the next time you gaze out at the sea, remember that somewhere beneath the waves, something is patiently growing young again. Follow Worth Knowing for more things worth knowing.